Chill Talk.
Chill Talk.
Chill Talks.
Welcome to Chill Talks Podcast, your companion in your chill time.
Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Chill Talks Podcast, where we discuss anything and everything over a cup of coffee. So I am your host, PJ, and this time we are still at the Rustic Cafe here in Daet Camarines Norte, and we are joined by an international makeup artist and the founder and lead artist of John D Creation, Sir John Dayaon. Welcome, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation.
Yes po, yes. Thank you for the invite. Thank you.
And looking at your history and yung current profile mo, which is a wedding wedding makeup artist. Tas na-mention mo sa isang recent Q&A mo na parang mas gusto mo talaga ng mga wedding artist, and you mentioned editorial and fashion types of makeup. Ano ang difference niya? As someone na hindi familiar sa makeup industry, how would I differentiate ang editorial, fashion, and yung mga casual makeups lang?
Okay. Actually, yung mga makeup artists like us, we are actually like doctors, I think. So, ayun yung pinaka-good explanation ko for that. So, if you want to pursue magazine, if you want to be a makeup artist for magazine, or if you want to be a makeup artist for commercial, if you want to be a makeup artist for TV shows, for weddings, for any type of events, iba-iba kasi yung makeup approach for that. So in one of my interviews, I mentioned that I wanted to be a bridal makeup artist. So kumbaga sa doctor, yun yung field na gusto kong pasukin. So parang ganun lang naman siya. I wanted to be a bridal makeup artist simply because the satisfaction I am getting is very priceless. Kapag napasaya mo yung bride, whenever your bride is so happy the way she looks on the day of her wedding, or yung dream wedding kasi yung tawag namin, dream day yung tawag namin sa wedding. So, I think that's the difference, and iba-iba yung approach, iba-iba yung technique na ginagamit. So, like for bridal, we usually go for natural, fresh, youth-looking, and timeless makeup. While for TV shows or for editorial makeup, we usually use heavier foundation, heavier base, and then heavier kind of makeup na very flattering naman sa camera. So, the difference will be based kung sino yung audience mo. So, if your audience will be yung camera, or kung yung tao mismo. So, yung camera kasi very deceiving yung color. Very iba yung color ng camera sa register ng makeup sa personal, I mean sa mata natin. So I think that's the difference.
So parang hindi rin pala pwede yung makeup mo as editorial, yun din yung gagamitin mo for
the bride. Yes.
For the bride.
Ibang iba.
Oo. And jumping back to your origin story, wow. Jumping back to your origin.
May pa-history.
Aside from taking yung mga tao na nag-i-inspire sa'yo, I want to figure out kung sino yung unang taong nakakita ng potential mo as a makeup artist.
That's a good question, Sir PJ. Kasi, actually, I didn't expect na I will be a makeup artist. I am a hospitality graduate from UST. So, yung field ko talaga before is more of like yung mga hospitality related competitions like table skirting, cake decorations. Actually, when I was in college, pinaka competition ko, aside from dancing, because I'm a dancer as well, yung pinaka-competition ko before when I was in college, yung mga cooking showdown, table setup competition, and then pinakamalayo ko nga napuntahan sa cooking showdown na yan was Singapore. So, I didn't really expect myself landing in a job na very malayo dun sa industry na inaral ko for 4 years. And I think yung pinaka-influential na mga tao na tumulong sa akin to push with the makeup industry, yung mga professors ko sa UST. Kasi sila yung parang, and then of course yung mga blockmates ko. I remember whenever we have a break or kapag may hindi pumapasok na professor, nagme-makeup ako sa mga klase ko for free. Tapos gamit ko lang yung makeup kit nila. And then, of course, they inspired me. Pero ang pinaka nag-push sa akin is yung mga professor ko, especially yung mga admins ng UST, College of Tourism and Hospitality Management. They will ask me to do their makeup for their event, and then they will pay me like a meal of from Tokyo or a meal from McDonald's, and at the same time they will excuse me from my class, ganyan. So I think yun yung first payment ko, a set of meal from Tokyo. Tapos sobrang saya ko na nun, Sir PJ. Sobrang saya ko na nun.
Pero nung time na yun, mahal na yan eh. As a student, mahal na yan. 250
na yun. Hello, ang lunch ko, 250. Kaya yung dyan. Pero siguro yun yung pinaka nag-inspire sa akin, yung mga professor ko. And then, they opened a lot of opportunities for me to do makeup for Miss UST. And then, for their events, until na may make-upan ko na yung mga rector ng UST, yung mga officials ng UST, which I think is a very big opportunity for me when I was in college.
And
so yun talaga.
After nung time na yun, at what point did you decide na even though yung background is hospitality management, at what point na nasabi mo sarili mo na ito na yung kukunin ko, makeup talaga ang kukunin ko?
Siguro actually I told this story for 1,000 times na yata. Nag-spark yung passion ko for makeup when someone actually paid me for my service. So, ayan, there was a time in UST na may pageant, and then a male candidate of that particular pageant, he asked me to do his makeup for the the preliminary competition for his pageant. And then, unfortunately, his makeup artist wasn't able to come to Manila from Lucena to do his makeup. So, he asked me to do his makeup. And since may blockmate din ako nakasali dun sa same pageant na yon, sabi ko, yes, okay lang. And then, also, I'm a performer that night as well. So, para nag-align yung mga stars na, it will not be a hassle for me to do your makeup that night. And then, after I did his makeup for like 15 minutes or 30 minutes, since lalaki nga, mabilis lang naman makeup, and you just have to cover yung eye bags. I did his makeup for 15 to 20 minutes. And then, after the competition, he came to me and then he said, "Thank you so much, Kuya Jan." And then, shinake hands niya ako and may nakaipit pala 1,000 pesos dun sa kamay niya. And then, when I opened it, parang, oh my gosh, I did his makeup for 15 minutes and then may 1,000 pesos ako, which I think is a very big amount for me when I was in college and malaking tulong din sa akin. And from then, I started maningil. Nag-start na maningil sa mga kaklase ko, like 500. I mean, hindi ako naniningil, hindi ako nagbibigay ng particular amount. And yun yung nakakatuwa kasi they are giving me what I deserve until nag-set na talaga ako ng price. I think yun yung pinaka nag-spark talaga ng career ko for makeup. And yun, yung mga paid jobs, and at the same time, yung papuri from other people.
Parang validates na yung ginawa mo ay maganda talaga.
Maganda, oo. Siyempre, kailangan mo.
Kasi may iba kasing services na ang mahal ng bayad mo, tapos minsan, hindi ka na nagbibigay ng feedback kasi I think may mga nangyaring ganun. Nahiya ka na lang magbigay ng negative feedback kasi alam mong malaki yung ginastos nung tao. So parang ganun siya. And at the same time, when I think one of the reputations na napanood ko doon sa isang testimonial video mo is that
yes, marketing video.
You are known for being a pricey. Yun yung sabi ng isang bride, diba? Parang may narinig daw nilang sinasabi na masyado ka daw mahal. Pero when it comes to pricing your services, ano yung pinaka basis mo siya? Kasi for sure, you have to pay for manpower, you have to pay for your, anong tawag nito? You have to pay for your makeup kits din. Kasama na rin yun. Pero, yun din yung gustong malaman ng ibang audiences ko when setting your rates. So, sa ngayon, ano na ang standard mo for setting your rates for different services?
Okay. Whenever I'm setting my rate, or if a makeup artist is listening right now, there are 5 considerations for you to be able to set your, or to come up to a rate sheet na deserve mo. You should not, dito pumapasok siguro, sir, yung know your worth. But again, knowing your worth, you must think of the following. First, of course, is the credentials. Second is the skills. Siyempre, dapat ma-justify nung skills yung credentials. And then the next one will be your output. So, even though you have the skill, even though ang galing mo humawak ng brush, even though ang galing ng pitik ng kamay mo, at the end of the day, you will be judged by your output. And then, I think the next consideration will be the product that you are using for your client. And then, the last thing is the service. Aside from the actual service, you should also think of the legality. You should also think about yung mga permit. So, part siya ng service, I think. So yun, for the first consideration, the credential, you must really go to a makeup academy for you to be able to for you to be considered as a professional makeup artist. So ganun lang din naman sa mga doctor or sa ibang profession, you should go to a proper school. And then the next one is the skills, na ano ka naman siya kanina. And then the next one will be the output. For me, I think yung pinaka edge ko whenever I'm promoting my makeup is that I always say that my makeup is high definition. Na whenever I'm done with my makeup for a client, kumukuha na ako ng magnifying glass niyan and I check the makeup all over again, like for 2 or 3 times. Chine-check ko if may tutsang, if may maling stroke, or if may same sa lipstick. So I always use the magnifying glass because my eyes alone will not determine if high definition yung makeup. Kasi ang pinaka magde-determine yan yung mga high definition, yung mga 4K to 5K cameras na sobrang linaw ng camera ngayon. So I really have to perfect the makeup bago lumabas yung client ko for a photo shoot or for a wedding. And of course, I think yung makeup products talaga, the reason why people call me expensive is that all my makeup products are ranging from US drugstore makeup to designer makeup. So for my bride, yan, actually, pinakamahal talaga na service namin will be the bride. Pero, lagi ko naman sinasabi na, a Jandel's Creations bride is a moneyed bride. Kasi I will be using Dior, Chanel, Tom Ford, and other designer brands of makeup, which I think she deserved for her wedding day. So, and then the last would be the service. I am a hospitality graduate. So, like yung sinasabi na iba yung servisyo namin. Like, you will have your own bridal shadow or your personal assistant. Groom shadow, personal assistant naman ni groom, and then iba pa yung assistant ko, iba pa yung hairstylist ko. So for a bride, we are a total of 5 heads just for the bride alone. So makikita mo na hindi pa man lang nabubuo yung pawis na tutulo na punasan na ng assistant ko. So as simple as that, or as simple as that small details, doon nakikita or doon na-appreciate ng mga bride ko na iba yung service. Ang bansa niya sa akin is iba yung touch of Jandy, iba yung alagang Jandy. So I think that's one of the reason kung bakit people consider it as pricey, and then that's also one of the consideration why we offer that particular rate for our brides or for our clients.
Kasi parang yung base sa description mo kanina dun sa service na binibigay for personal assistants ng groom and the bride, it kind of makes them feel at ease din. Kasi nakikita ko dati pag umaten ako ng kasal ng mga kakilala ko, yung nai-stress yung bride, tapos walang tumutulong sa kanya. Oo. May nahulog yung veil, walang sasalo bigla.
Sasalo. Yes, true. Exactly. Actually, marami din natutuwa mga coordinators sa amin because we take over their job.
Yes.
We make their job a lot easier kasi kami na din yung nagpupunas ng pawis, which usually work siya ng coordinator. Basta sinasabi ko sa coordinator is this will be a collaborative effort. Ikaw bahala sa water, kami ang bahala sa tissue. Ikaw ang bahala sa pagbubuhat ng ikaw ang bahala sa other stuff. Basta sa itsura ni bride and ni groom, kami ang bahala. So I think yun din talaga.
Kasi minsan nagkakaroon ng bangayan din eh. Pag hindi maganda yung connection ng the coordinator and the makeup artist.
Kailangan talaga mabait ka sa ibang suppliers.
True. And at the same time, jumping into one of your milestones, I think this year, yung nagkontak ka ng isang masterclass.
It was last year po.
Last year. Okay. And I am very curious, ano yung pinakauna mong tinuturo sa kanila na hindi sa'yo naturo dati, na natutunan mo lang from your own experience?
From my own experience? Siguro, ang hirap naman ng tanong, pero siguro, lahat kasi ng makeup class na inattendan ko, it's actually a collaborative effort of those classes. Kung ano ako ngayon. So, I think the best lesson I taught to my students during my master class is professionalism. And then, know your worth. And at the same time, makeup industry has no rule, has no limit at all. So, I think yun yung pinaka naturo ko sa kanila na until now, ina-apply ng mga students ko. Because no one is actually dictating na pag makeup artist ka, dapat naka-all black ka lang. No, kami naka-suit kami and during the wedding, no, may uniform kami. Pero wala nagsasabi na mag-uniform ang makeup artist. And actually, I mean, that's a good example actually, sir, no? Yun yung pinakamaganda na ituro ko sa kanila na we are freelancers, walang nagdidikta sa atin kung anong gagawin natin. So, I am very proud na I'm one of those artists na baliw lang talaga. Very passionate lang talaga dun sa industry. So, we are actually the first glam team na nagbigay ng na nag-conduct or nag-design ng sarili naming uniform. We are the first makeup artist na sumasali sa mga exhibit. Diba? Sa mga exhibit, which is most of the time nakikita natin mga painting. So, yun yung pinakamaganda na ituro sa kanila na it's your life, you're a freelancer, you decide. So, yun yung magde-determine kung saan ka papunta.
And when it comes to sa mga baguhan ng mga makeup artists, ano yung mga napapansin mong common mistakes nila pagdating sa application?
I think the common mistake, actually walang mistake at all because again, walang rule sa makeup. Pero if I'm gonna, ito yung napapansin ko sa mga apprentices ko. Before we started doing their professional training, ang pinaka napapansin ko is masyado silang makapal mag-makeup. They put a lot of makeup and at the end of the day, it will be cakey, mahuhulas ka agad. Not because that's what they want, but because yun yung nakikita nila sa social media na influence ng mga beauty guru sa YouTube. Ang hindi siguro nila nako-consider iba yung lighting ng studio. That's why they put a lot of makeup and layers of foundation. And iba yung lighting kapag daylight. And most of the time, like for example here in our province, wala naman tayong studio with strong lights, di ba? So we should usually go for natural, fresh, and light makeup. And isa din yan sa consideration ng client ko. They don't want heavy makeup on their face kasi nakakaantok siya. And at the same time, parang nakasira siya ng araw. Kasi even me, I don't like putting a lot of makeup on my face. Gusto ko parang wala lang. And that's, I think, one of the best thing na pinupuri lagi ni client na kapag after our makeup session, grabe, parang wala lang akong makeup. Hindi ko ramdam yung makeup ko. Kasi nakakapagod siya because you're wearing that throughout the day. Especially the lashes na medyo mabigat sa mata. Yun, nakakantok yun.
And in connection to that, na-curious tuloy ako. Ano ang point na kung saan dapat huminto ka na sa paglalagay ng makeup? Kasi minsan may mga kilala akong dati some of my gay friends na nag-a-apply ng makeup. Minsan napapansin namin hindi nila alam kung kailan titigil sa paglagay, talagang lagay lang ng lagay. So at what point should you decide na okay na, tama na to, maganda na siya?
Yun yung last na sinabi mo, tama na, maganda na siya. Whenever I'm doing makeup for my client or for my models, the first step will be appreciate the beauty. So, if you know that your client is already beautiful, I only put enough makeup just to cover imperfections, just to cover the pimples or the acne or imperfections. Yun lang. Kaya ko mag-makeup in 15 minutes. Kasi, like for example, maganda na si ate girl. No need to put a lot of makeup. And then, yun yung natutuwa yung clients ko Kasi parang I only enhance the beauty of my client and I don't cover the client's beauty with makeup. So I think first is to appreciate your client's beauty. Second process is to determine which part of her face that you just want to enhance. And lastly is to know when to put your makeup brush down. Kasi kapag maganda na yung client, that's enough. Kasi dun nagkakamali yung ibang makeup artist that they put a lot of makeup until ibang tao na yung nasa harapan nila. And dun na nangyayari yung mga makeup transformation na sometimes maganda, sometimes hindi na-appreciate ng tao. So I think yun. Appreciate the beauty of your client before and after you do the makeup for her.
And with that said, parang let's jump into yung pag-enhance ng credentials mo as a makeup artist. So what was the difference pagdating sa work ethic nung nagtrabaho ka sa makeup artist ni Beyonce, which is Sir John, and working with local artists dito sa Philippines?
Actually, the training that I had with Sir John, yung makeup artist ni Beyonce, more on techniques. And at the same time, meron kasi yung mga question and answer na pwede magbato ng question yung audience and then Sir John will answer the question. Pero I think yun yung natutunan ko kay Sir John, techniques. And yun natutunan ko dito sa local makeup artist is more of yung industriya ng makeup dito sa Pilipinas. Kasi marirealize mo minsan you're not doing enough pala. Kapag nakakatrabaho mo na yung mga pioneering makeup artists. Like for example, would it be okay to name drop makeup artists? Pinaka first inspiration or ina-idol ko sa pagmi-makeup is of course Mamang Aga rin yun. Mami Ato Samarista, and a lot of pioneering artists. And until now, I have so much respect to them. And siguro yun yung natututunan ko sa kanila. Maging mabuti ka sa kapwa because maliit lang yung industriya. And at the end of the day, magkakasama-sama kayo sa isang event. So, you want to face other suppliers with a huge, genuine smile on your face. Hindi yun nakikipagplastikan ka because, yun nga, you have to really be good with other suppliers and of course your clients. Kasi kami naman mga makeup artists or freelancers, nakakakuha kami ng mga clients sa mga clients din namin before through word of mouth and of course sa mga nagiging suppliers namin who loves working with us. So I think yun yung mga natututunan ko sa mga local makeup artists, the work ethics and at the same time yung pakikisama.
Okay. And na-mention mo siya kanina, Sir John, yung hindi masyadong kilala ang makeup artist sa Philippines. Why do you think napaka-underrated ng industry ng makeup sa ating bansa?
Because we don't see makeup as essential. Unlike sa ibang bansa na walking around a mall, may makikita ka na full-on makeup. They feel like it's part of their lifestyle. Here in the Philippines kasi, we only use makeup if we have a special events. And dun din ako nahihirapan mag-market actually. I mean, other makeup artists, dun kami nahihirapan na to encourage our brides to spend money sa makeup nila. Kasi most of the time, here sa Pilipinas, they will spend so much sa catering, sa gown, especially sa photographers, videographers, because they want to keep the memories from their wedding day. Pero ang hindi kasi nare-realize ng mga clients most of the time is that quality photos always work with quality makeup.
Yes.
So even though ang photographer or videographer mo is yung mga highest paid sa Pilipinas, like we have Nice Prints, Mayad, we have other photography suppliers na umaabot na ng 500,000 yung price. Even though sila yung photographer mo, if the makeup is not looking good, you will not look good at all sa mga photos. So yun yung number one consideration na na-realize din ng client ko when we had our meeting na if there are 3 important things na you have to spend or you have to put budget on your wedding day, first of course is the photographer, videographer for to keep the memories. Second is the makeup because you don't want to ito yung sinabi niya, because you don't want to regret or remember your wedding day. Ay, sorry, ito yung pinaka-sinabi niya pala. You don't want to remember your wedding day regretting the way you look. Kasi tama naman, even though magaling yung photographer mo, kung hindi ka maganda talaga that day, it will be useless. They will be useless at all. Maka-capture nila yung moment, but if you will zoom it sa photos mo, you will get disappointed na hindi ako masyado maganda nung wedding ko. So I think yun yung difference kung bakit na underrated yung mga makeup artists dito sa Pilipinas, because we don't see their value when it comes to an event. So ayun, siguro yun yung realization ng mga brides ko kung bakit sila nagbubook sa akin na I really have to spend money sa makeup kasi yun yung maalala ko, the way I look.
Yes. And let's go back to you as a successful person, Sir John. Kasi minsan, yun nga, from the term successful, many people nakikita nila na, ay, success, ay, magaling to. Napaka, madami nang narating sa buhay. Pero, aside from those comments ng ibang tao, ano yung mga hidden battles na conquer mo na hindi nakikita nila? Kasi, behind those success lies the challenges. So, ano yung mga hindi mo masyadong nasi-share sa karamihan na proud kang nalagpasan mo?
Apo. First of all, I heard that a lot na people think na very successful ako. But I think one thing na nakakapagtulong sa akin para hindi ako masyadong ma-pressure is that I don't have that kind of head on my shoulder na uy, successful ako. Hello. I'm not really proud kung ano yung tingin ng tao sa akin, but I am proud with my achievements, of course, but I don't usually use that to brag and bring other people down. So I think that's the first answer to your question. Hindi actually ako, after my achievement or after I get the achievement, I frame the certificate and that's it. And then I display it sa atelier ko for my client's reference or for my client's review. But at the end of the day, hindi ko siya gagamitin just to brag. Hindi ko siya gagamitin just to make others people intimidated. Alam mo yun? Pero I think nabubuo naman yung mga ganyang mentality because of social media. And one thing is for sure, ang makikita lang ng tao sa iyo is yung mga nakikita nila sa social media. Yung mga pinopost ko na pictures, yung mga pinopost ko na clients, and everything about my social media is, to be honest, very glamorous sila lahat talaga. Even myself, kapag nakikita nila ako nagpo-post ng sarili ko, they will see me wearing designer stuff, designer clothes. Pero ang hindi kasi nila nakikita is yung process behind those glamour. So I think yung pinaka nilalampasan ko na battles will be how to market myself. As a freelancer kasi, sariling sikap. Dun pumapasok yung sariling sikap na we have to market ourselves. We need to think of bagong pakulo. Paano ba namin mapapakilala yung sarili namin, or paano ba kami hindi makakalimutan ng tao? Since we're a freelancer, walang gumagawa nung pagmamarket para sa amin. Walang gumagawa nung as simple as ngayong pandemic, walang nagbibigay ng ayuda sa aming mga freelancer. Kaya nakakalungkot din, and I think makaka-relate yung mga makeup artists because we are on our own. As simple as yung walang ayuda for freelancers, doon kasi nag-breakdown yung maraming makeup artists, and then they started selling their makeup products, they started selling their kit. So I think yun yung battles na nilalampasan even up to this day ng not just me but other makeup artists. Yung we are on our own, kung mapapagod kami, I mean of course napapagod kami, pero kung isipin namin na napapagod kami, hindi kami uusad.
That's true. Kasi I remember a story before nung nag-start yung pandemic, I think sa bandang Albay nun One of the first cases or yung mga succeeding cases na report is dahil sa mga nagpa-makeup daw, nagpa-manicure, pedicure. So, when that story came out, I saw a lot of my close friends talagang makeup artist din na nag-quit talaga. Kasi wala na talagang nag-book sa kanila during 2020 kasi
because of what happened.
Oo, yung news na yun. So, parang pag may makeup artist, takot na baka magka-COVID. So, hopefully, she's recovering now. Thank goodness. Kasi magaling talaga siya. So,
But also, lesson learned for that artist. Kasi, yun din yung number one. That's the reason why I have at least two assistants for my wedding gigs. Is that we sanitize all the makeup before and after use. Especially the brushes. We are avoiding cross-contamination
Yes.
Like for example, the same lip brush that you apply for the first client is used for another client. Doon magta-transfer yung mga sinasabi na natin na parang cross-contamination, as well as eyeshadow brush you will use the eyeshadow brush to another person na hindi mo na-sanitize. What if may sore eyes yung first client mo, and then the rest of your clients will have sore eyes na din because of the cross-contamination. So I think lesson learned din siya for a lot of artists to sanitize their makeup and brushes before, during, and after the wedding gig or the makeup session.
And jumping into our conversation kanina, hindi naman natin mapagkakaila na you have achieved a certain level of success.
Just
diba?
po.
Oo, diba? We cannot deny that.
Na-awkward na ako, Sir PJ. So, naririnig ko.
So, in relation to this question, how do you celebrate your success once na, alam mo, may na-achieve yung team mo, personally may na-achieve ka? How do you celebrate those wins?
For myself, I'm a very materialistic person. I buy stuff for myself. And I always see spending money as deserve ko naman to. So, and then of course, at the same time, we travel. I travel alone. Most of the time, I travel alone. Finding myself, ganon. So, searching. Pero, ayan, I travel, I buy stuff for myself. As simple as watching videos or like movies, I call that a celebration. For my stuff naman, we travel din. And then I make sure na very close yung mga staff ko because I am creating a new industry na people help people. Makeup artists help other makeup artists. So like for example, this April we will be going to Albay with my team.
Nice.
And at the same time, actually for my DFA siya, for my DFA appointment. Pero aside from that, I invited all my staff to come with me, especially those who are from Manila, to travel with me in Legazpi for at least 2 days. And that way, I celebrate them. As simple as ganun lang, mag-travel lang together, or as simple as to have coffee in a cafe. So I think that's how we celebrate success.
And yun nga, na-mention natin kanina na may team kang hinahawakan.
Yes,
so, what's the challenge and ano yung maganda naman when working with different people that have different creative perspective? Kasi diba, working in a makeup industry, sasabihin natin na parang beauty lies in the lies a makeup artist. So, how do you handle those kinds of people na iba-iba talaga ang perspective creativity nila compared din sa'yo?
First, of course, the challenge of having a glam team is that you are training or you are passing on your skills and techniques to other artists. And suddenly, a lot of people will think na, why are you passing those techniques na natutunan mo sa ibang artists? And then, parang most of them will encourage me to stop doing what I am doing because suddenly, it will create a competition. And, yung pinaka-challenge is mapapaisip ka na, di ba yung tinuturuan ko, bakit siya na yung binubook? Di ba may mga ganun? Of course, that's a challenge. Is to overcome the insecurity. Pero I think, hindi siya challenge dun sa team ko because we are really creating a group with people na we avoid insecurities and then instead we help each other. Actually, yung mga makeup artists ko, kapag may booking yung isa, other makeup artists will assist.
Okay.
Sabi ko, ang saya naman ng industry, yung ginagawa naming grupo because we just help other people. And at the same time, the challenge about dun sa sinasabi niyo, sir, na iba yung creative perspective namin, actually it's not a challenge for us eh. Actually it is our edge kasi we consult each artist na may iba-ibang perspective kung ano yung tingin nila dun sa ginagawa namin.
Okay.
And that way, it's a collaborative effort, especially like for example, for our uniform, it's a collaborative effort of the team na kaya kami nakapag-come up dun sa iba-ibang uniform. Like we have Type C, Type B, Type A, summer uniform. It's because of of course, may team's idea din na, sir, ang init naman masyado ng type C natin na uniform, which is black polo and pants. And then we decided to go for summer outfit whenever we're doing outdoor shoots or like prenuptial shoot. So I think, hindi lang siya sa makeup, sir. I think in general, may iba-iba talaga na perspective yung mga tao, and it's all up to you kung paano mo gagamitin yun as an opportunity to do better or to create something na hindi maiisip ng iba.
That's nice. And ano tawag nito, parang mamaya na muna tayo mag-usap sa career muna. Parang let's take a break for that kind of topic.
Yes.
Kasi I found it interesting that you have a certain passion when it comes to scented candles. So, as someone na nakikurious ako sa ganung product, ano ang types of scents na pwede mong ma-recommend to bachelors, bachelorettes, or may mga small families? Kasi ano ba ang kagandahan ng scented candle sa isang bahay?
Okay. Ayan, actually, lagi napapansin niya ng mga clients ko, wow, may pa-scented candles pa. Actually, yung pinopromote namin, the reason why we have scented candles or diffuser with essential oils is actually we are promoting that makeup is not just a process of beautifying one's a client. Actually, it's a process to make your clients relax during the wedding day, or basta ang kinecreate namin with the scented candles is the yung vibe na nasa spa ka, na makakalimutan mo na ako si bride, na makakalimutan mo na ngarag pala ako today. Ako nga pala si bride, ngarag nga pala ako today. And that's actually the favorite thing of my, that's actually the favorite part of my brides, yung spa treatment before the actual makeup. Because it's therapy to relax the mind, to relax the body, para pagkalabas ng bride namin after namin siyang maayusan, it will be a whole new bride. I mean, it will be parang it's such a breath of fresh air. Siguro ganun yung Pero regarding naman sa mga scents ng candles, I always go for rose. Kasi lang kapag change siya ng mood talaga, na it will just lighten up you will feel like you're in a garden. And of course, yun yung favorite na scent ng mga brides ko or ng mga clients ko na babae. For guys, ang pinaka-favorite nila is eucalyptus.
Oh, yes.
Because that will create the relaxing mood for them. Na even though they are very hardworking, even though they are very ngarag sa mga errands nila all throughout the day, they want to smell something that will relax their mind and their body, na feeling nga nila nasa spa sila. And in general, my favorite actually is essential oil, an essential oil from this particular brand. I'm not gonna mention kasi hindi naman tayo bayad, Sir PJ. Pero the essential oil is called Abundance, and that will just lighten up your mood talaga, na even though you're having a hard times, or even though it's not the paano ko ba sasabihin? Even though you're having a hard day, pag naamoy mo yung essential oil na yon, magla-lighten up yung mood mo. Abundance yung name. It's very expensive for a bottle of oil like this na parang 5 ml lang yata. But a drop of that will really lighten up your day and your mood.
And aside from lighting up your mood and parang pagpapagaan ng loob, I think one of the stories na na-share mo din, memorable story mo, is yung pinahiram mo yung kotse mo sa isang bride na nasiraan. So can you elaborate on that experience, and ano yung ano yung feedback sa inyo nung bride na after the wedding? Kasi for sure, laking blessing na pinahiram mo yung sasakyan mo that time.
Actually, they are very thankful. We already discussed that during the meeting na very low budgeted si bride. Pero since parang sinasabi niya sa akin na Jandy, you are my dream makeup artist. And then they value the yung purpose ng makeup during the wedding day. Alam nila yon. So, they put their budgets, of course, a photographer. They actually hired photographer from Albay. And Albay ba or Camarines Sur? Basta, not here in Camarines Norte. And the glam team they hired is us from Manila pa nga. And I think yung sunod na finokosa nila ng budget is their food for the client naman. Kasi yung photo and makeup for for couple yan Yung food and events place and styling, yan naman ang for guest. Kumbaga, yan naman ang balik sa guest. During that time, they keep on telling me na medyo low budgeted tong wedding na to. Pero we want the best people. That's why we allot this budget for the glam team, for the photographer, for the food. Actually, medyo hesitant kami dyan to get you kasi ang pinaka-offer sa amin ng ibang artist or ng ibang glam team is yung, for example, I'll give price na. Yung 25,000 will be just for the groom and for the bride. Kung kami yung kukunin na glam team. Pero if they will get other glam team, yung 25,000 na yon, may bridal car na, may gowns na, the whole entourage na, hair and makeup for the whole entourage, of course the bride, and then yung bridal car, meron na din yung bridal flowers in front. So, looking the difference of the inclusions, mabigat talaga yung price namin.
Yes.
Pero, I understand the bride Sabi ko, you know what? Sumasama naman kami sa church. Kabitan na lang ng bulaklak yung yung sasakyan ko. Kasi yung sasakyan ko naman is kulay puti din. So, very bridal car din talaga ang effect. And at the same time, it's a freebie na sobrang na-appreciate ng mga bride, ng couple namin na sobrang na-appreciate ng bride na yon and ng couple ko na, oo nga bakit hindi na lang si Jandy? Kasi sobrang laking tulong din. Kasi nga, lagi namin sinasabi, we are not just the glam team on your wedding day. We are actually called as fairy godmothers on the wedding day because we are there not just to make you beautiful but to make your dream wedding come true. So, as simple as pagpapahiram ng sasakyan, ako naman din yung driver. So, I can take good care of my car pa rin naman at the same time. As simple as that service, it will lighten up it will lighten up my bride's day. So, I think yun yung naging conversation during that time. And sobrang saya nila kasi, of course, hindi na sila gumastos ng 5,000 to 8,000 pesos for the bridal car. And at the same time, nakuha nila yung mga inaay nila na suppliers.
Kasi nung nakwento yun ng bride, nakakagulat yung kasi I think not all can do that.
Can do that?
Yes, not everyone can do that.
Kasi kung titignan mo yung ibang makeup artist kasi, hindi ko na kasi trabaho yan.
Yes, exactly.
Di ba? Yun yung siguro, I'm a hospitality graduate. I am really used to giving exceptional service even though hindi na siya sakop nung job description ko for that day. Pero as simple gestures like that will really make a difference.
Yes. And I think for the next question, mukhang kakatayin ako ng mga kaibigan ko pag hindi ko to tinanong sa'yo.
Sige.
What's your simple tips for people who don't have access sa mga mamahaling makeups? And how can we determine if safe ang makeup brand na ginagamit?
For the first question muna is, what if yung makeup artist is wala pang access din sa mga mamahaling na makeup? Actually, I understand kasi I started nga when I was in college and yung pinapadala sa akin ng parents ko, very sakto lang siya sa pamasahe, sa food, sa projects, sa assignments. I'm on my own. So, I'll give you a background. When I was in college, maswerte na ako kapag ang napadala sa akin na pera ng parents ko is 2K or 2.5 per week. And since I'm living in Manila nga, kada galaw mo, may gastos na lumalabas. So, isipin mo, paano ko mapapagkasya yung 2,000 sabihin na natin 2,000 to 3,500 na allowance per week. So, I really started with those brands, with local brands na sa tingin ko is quality. Like, I'm gonna name drop some brands like Nichido, Ever Bilena, FS21, Fanny Serrano. I started with those brands na kung titignan nyo, parang 500 to, I mean 200. You can buy a pencil or a makeup for at least 150 pesos. And then, that's where I started eh. So, I don't think it's impossible for other artists to start from the bottom and then keep your way up para naman maka-afford ka ng mga mamahalin na makeup. Yes. And then, siguro, ang pinaka number one tip ko naman dyan about naman sa safety is it's okay to buy local brands, makeup from local brands instead of buying makeup from high-end brands pero fake.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point, Sir PJ?
Yes.
Na kasi most of the time yung artist minamadali nila na I wanna have MAC Cosmetics in my makeup kit. And suddenly ang afford nila hindi pa nila talaga afford or kami hindi pa namin afford. So bibili kami ng mga fake na MAC Cosmetics just so the client will see na naka-MAC si bakla or wow yung makeup artist ko MAC yung gamit. So I think that's number one consideration and number one thing na kailangan i-hold back ng mga makeup artists na it's not about the brand. It's about the quality of your work, your skills, and at the same time, the safety of the client. Kasi kahit gano'ng kaganda yung client, kung pinimple siya because of those fake brands na makeup, hindi babalik sa iyo yung client. So, I mean, even though na high moral mo siya on the day na minikapan mo sila kasi nga, MAC, ganyan-ganyan. But after the makeup, pinimples nga yung client or nag-break out yung client, it's not about the I think it's not about the makeup that you use. It's about the quality of your service before and after the makeup session. Kasi until now, sir, actually sa mga review ko, lagi ko naririnig sa mga clients ko na binabanggit nila na even though I remove Jandy's the makeup of Jandy Yaon, I felt like sobrang pampered yung skin ko. I feel like this is the Korean glowing glass skin. So I think importante yun. And at the same time, babalik sila because they wanna experience the same type of service. I think yun yung ang pinaka lagi kong sinasabi sa team ko nito, Sir PJ. Ang pangalan, taon mo siyang bubuuhin, pero segundo lang para sirain. Di ba? Parang ang hirap kung magpapasira ka just because minadali mo or shinortcut mo yung process. Yun, siguro dun ka masisira. Ang dami ko sinasabi sa PG, I'm sorry.
everything makes sense and hopefully for sure matutuwa yung mga kaibigan ko kasi yung isa sa kanila nagsisimula for makeup din eh. And this will be my second to the last question, Sir John.
Yes po.
Kasi one of the philosophies of your brand is elevating beauty, di ba? So, where do you have any experience na kung saan yung isang client nyo, mapababae man or lalaki, na nung simula ay super baba ng confidence sa sarili but after your service nakita niya yung pagtaas ng confidence nila, then how did it feel on your part as the artist?
Actually, sir, marami. Marami akong client na ganyan na lagi nilang sinasabi na they're not confident about themselves. And yun yung lagi kong pinaka-goal ko actually eh. Ang pinaka-goal ko is not to create a whole new face for my client. But I want her to embrace her beauty. So, like for example, I have this Morena bride na she's very insecure. Like, sabi niya nga, pabor sa kanya na may face mask. But when I did her makeup, kasi ikakasal yung kapatid niya, and even though may set of glam team na for the wedding day nung brother niya, he still hired my team to do her makeup. And at first, hindi siya confident the way she looks. And then I said, no, maganda ka. Tina mo, may gagawin ako sa'yo. And I only put the most minimum amount of makeup that I can put on her face. And then I just created that dewy look na very glass skin, very Korean lang na I put enough blush on, I put the right shade of lipstick, and then give her the hairstyle that I think complements sa facial structure niya and sa features niya. And I think after nung makeup na yon, sobrang gandang-ganda na siya sa sarili niya because katulad nga nung sinasabi ko na is elevating beauty. Ibig sabihin, may beauty na talaga, you're just enhancing the beauty. So that's my definition of that phrase na elevating beauty. So I think yun yung laging comment ng mga client ko. I just enhance their natural beauty so that when they look at the mirror, ako pa rin to, ang ganda ko pala. Yun yung realization na wala masyado na bago dyan, pero ang ganda ko pala. And then syempre nakatulong yung mga relatives na pagdating niya daw sa preparation venue and sa wedding, sa church, syempre nandiyan yung mga ninang, nandiyan yung entourage. Ate, ang ganda mo po. Para kang artist. Akala ko kung sinong artista. Syempre nakakatulong yun ng moral ng tao to gain confidence. Of course, makeup alone cannot work to make someone confident. Pero pinakamalaking tulong talaga ang makeup, and at the same time, yung phrasal or yung pagpe-praise ng mga taong nasa paligid mo. Yes. So I think that's the perfect formula. Good makeup, enough makeup, and at the same time yung papuri ng ibang tao.
Parang it's a kind of a balance between the two, diba? And with that said, jumping into this last question, giving all the blessings na para pag sinabi ko siguro success, baka ma-awkward ka pa. So given all...
Sinasabi mo pangalan.
Diba? Given all the blessings na nakukuha mo ngayon, from the blessing in the career, blessing in the financial, obviously, and as well as the team, looking back, what was the biggest risk na kinuha mo? And ano yung nararamdaman mo ngayon na pag nireflect mo yung risk na tinake mo na kung hindi ko ginawa yun, wala ako dito sa kinatatayuan ko?
Okay. I think when I was in the US... dun ko kasi na-feel yung mga sinasabi sa teleserye ng mga OFW na ang hirap ng buhay dito, na you're earning a lot. If you will convert the money from dollars to peso, malaki ang sinasahod mo. But if you are in the US and you're earning that amount of money, maliit kasi the lifestyle in the US is very different. So ang pinakamalaking risk na ginawa ko when I was in the US is I am working in a hotel for my internship program, and ipon lang ako ng ipon. And whenever I get my paycheck, every week kasi yung paycheck namin, mag-aalat ako ng $50 from my paycheck to buy just one makeup, and okay na ako doon. Okay na ako to continue my life. Parang gano'n na, okay, deserve ko to, $50 lang naman. So, bibili ako ng makeup until na-kompleto ko yung kit ko. And at the same time, yung ibang naiipon ko, syempre nagpapadala ako dito sa Pilipinas. And yung iniipon kong para sa sarili ko, itinaya ko for my makeup school in New York. Kasi, siguro naman, I'm not really saying this to brag, but I think to inspire and to give information to other makeup artists. Now, when I studied abroad in New York, in Makeup Forever Academy, I spend at least 350 to 500,000 pesos. Of course, you have to consider the accommodation, the transportation going to New York, and knowing New York, sila may pinakamataas na lifestyle sa buong US. So, after my makeup school, wala akong pera. So, I have to take shifts. I have to, actually, nakikiusap ako, Sir PJ, sa mga katrabaho ko na, if you don't want to work this day, I can cover your shift kasi nga bayad kami per hour. So I think yun yung pinaka-risk na ininvest ko yung money ko dun sa pag-aaral ko. And ngayon ko na-feel yung balik na oh my gosh, ito pala yung result ng risk ko. And I'm very thankful na ginawa ko siya until now. Hindi parang I'm on a cloud 9 pa rin na parang totoo ba, just because of that risk of paying the makeup school and at the same time experiencing the makeup school and then the techniques I learned from my professors, I am here today is still nobody. I am still nobody sa industry. I mean, hindi pa rin matunog yung pangalan ko in makeup industry. When I go to Manila, hindi nila ako kilala at all. So, I think that makes me humble even behind all those achievements na kapag ikina-compare ko na yung sarili ko dun sa mga artist na kilala ko na sobrang gagaling and sobrang successful, I still consider myself as nobody. But at the end of the day, that also challenged me to do better every day. So I think yun yung pinakamahalaga sa ating mga artist to know your worth, to know who you are, and to humble yourself to make space for improvement. So yun. Ayan, ang drama ko naman, Sir PJ.
And with that said, thank you so much, Sir John Dayaon. At sa mga nakikinig sa atin, all of the links na social media mo, TikTok, Facebook page will be in the description down below. So you can support and hopefully i-book nyo si
Yes.
Sir,
and at the same time, for those bride who are actually hoping na mag-glam up namin on the day of their wedding, we are actually giving giveaways. Like for example, tomorrow, ayan, my first ever giveaway, bridal giveaway, nanalo siya ng worth 25,000 pesos of service from Jandes Creation.
Si Miss
Si Miss Kristen Sindak. And then, during our meeting, mas na-inspire pa sa story nila. I upgraded their service from the pinakamura nga to our pinakamahal for free.
Oh, wow.
Tapos, yun na nga. And today, we are, after this interview, we are preparing our kit for their wedding tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So, parang siya. So, for those brides na kind of intimidated dun sa budget talaga, we are the glam team who is very much willing to listen and very much willing to give discount. And at the same time, for those bride na who are actually hoping na mag-glam up namin someday for free, we are giving giveaways. So, make sure to follow our social media accounts kasi doon namin talaga binubus yung mga marketing namin and promotions whenever we're giving giveaways. So, ayan.
Okay, so with that, thank you so much, Sir Dayaon, for this wonderful interview. Technically interview siya, yes.
Casual sit-in interview.
And it was a lot of fun listening to your journey and wishing you more blessings in the future. So
thank you so much, sir. Rooting for your success as well.
Thank you.
This podcast.
Thank you so much. And you can listen to this full episode sa Spotify and as well as Clever.fm. So thank you so much and see you all next time. Bye-bye.